These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Your emails?
Yeah, when I shake my flashlight
like a little envelope?
from my window. No, I shake my flashlight.
Oh, that you need emails?
No, that's when I shake it horizontally. This one's
summoning
vertically.
emails.
Yeah.
Vertically means you have too many
emails, yes. Whenever we hit
all
5 emails that we haven't answered yet, I shake my flashlight in the window.
Oh, no.
Well,
what a coincidence.
But you must not have, it must have been a cloudy day or something, because
well, you're both here.
We seem to have some emails from a long time ago at this point.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, let's get to it. Let's not waste any time. We got 5 emails here stretching all the way back to June.
So, and even though we just finished book 20, these emails may be going back to who knows how many books ago.
Older
Probably
books,
19?
yeah, anything really. I mean,
I
and
know,
you know,
it's sort of...
MegaMorphs?
Yeah. Oh, what were you going to say?
MegaMorphs
because
too?
some people are also, if we have comments in other places, some people are also starting the podcast and coming through their journey now. So,
it's
not
true,
everybody is
They
up to
think
date.
we still hate Jake.
Yeah. And so they'll probably
Wait,
hear
we
this
don't hate
episode
Jake?
6 months later.
Oh, wait. Am I recording the Zoom? I'm recording the Zoom.
You're recording the Zoom.
Good.
No. I mean, I don't hate
No,
Jake.
you're recording this.
You keep the money. How do I get rid of these? That was just for Eddie. Do you remember that, Ed?
I remember it from somewhere. I couldn't tell you where.
Oh, you don't remember it?
I remember hearing it.
It's Hey
Hey
Arnold.
Arnold, that's
It's
what I was thinking. Yeah.
It's the
yeah.
one guy in the house who's super greedy.
Yeah.
When
did we watch Hey Arnold together that you would make a Hey Arnold joke for me?
Well, it's just like it's
25 years ago.
Yeah, dude, like what are you talking
We all
about?
watched Hey Arnold.
I know. Yeah. All right. Hey, football.
Don't you think Hey Arnold would be better if they rebooted it now?
Hey, Stinko, man.
No, because then I'd have to listen to Gen Alpha brain rot all day. It'd be nothing but if he goes to PS 6, 7.
That'll be in the
That was an annoyingly good joke.
Animorphs.
Yeah. All right, let's. I was taking a sip of beer as that joke happened, which will teach me.
They did. They had the number. He was like, I go to PS 1 something
32?
something. 130. I don't.
All right, so here we go, you guys. We got one from Dragon Trainer themselves.
Whoa.
How to trainer your dragons. Here we go. You guys ready? You guys want to popcorn this? You guys got it in front of me?
Popcorn.
I'll just read it. So from Dragon Trainer.
I think you should popcorn
I think
it.
you missed my...
No, I'm just saying. This is
Eddie, do
feedback.
you want us to survive this recording session?
Oh my God, I need to sit down. I'm so mad. I can't even. I literally am trying to keep it together to get through one fucking sentence.
I just thought I'd give you some feedback.
Hey, I think you popcorned Eddie.
Hey, I think you missed. Oh, I see. I understand.
You're out of the popcorn.
No.
You're out of
I
it.
get 2 shots.
Hey, I think you missed my last email. It was sent on June 7th, so maybe it didn't get in on time, as the first half of your mailbag episode was recorded in May? ? Anyways, here's my question from that last email. Popcorn Eddie.
As much as I loved MegaMorphs number 2, one thing I didn't like is that the Animorphs only morphed 2 types of Popcorn Miranda.
Dinosaurs. The Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Deinonychus. I was very disappointed by the lack of variety. If you could have each Animorph morph into a different dinosaur, Popcorn Chris.
Or dinosaur-adjacent animal from each other, what dinosaur would you assign each of them? Oh, and as always, keep up the good work.
Ooh, this is very
tough.
interesting.
This is a big question. Yeah, I think you'd give Tobias like a pterodactyl, like
Something that flies,
raptor-y,
right? Yeah.
Right.
But also maybe it's a chance to introduce some variety to his life.
That's true, but you could also go for a raptor. Because Tobias is a raptor.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's go like super tiny, cute little raptor for Tobias.
Yeah, the small raptor. I can't remember.
From the beginning of The Lost World, right?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, and let's go from...
Cassie? Diplodocus?
Diplodocus?
Maybe. I always let me double check Diplodocus. I don't think she's a quadruped. I don't know why, but I think she's I always say it wrong. Parasaurolophus, like the water dinosaur. I don't know. I associate water with like healing, and I associate Kathy. I associate Cassie with like healing spiritual energy. They're also quadrupeds. They just stand up sometimes. So I have a potentially out there kind of take. And this is based entirely on Land Before Time 2.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's do all of them as characters from Land Before Time.
So that would be Ducky.
Including Land Before Time 2.
Ducky and Ducky's
would
mom
be Cassie.
are Parasaurolophus, I think. So the villains
Jake would be the long neck would be a
Apatosaurus. Yeah, main character energy for sure. So in 2, the antagonist is a pair of Struthia mimus, who at the time science indicated may eat eggs of other dinosaurs. Science has since changed its mind on that. However, they are delightfully dramatic and queer-coded, and that's why I believe Marco...
How did science confirm that?
The characters, not all Struthia mimus. I can't be certain. But in the movie, they are extremely, one of them is like, they're like a Pinky in the Brain type. And it's like, one of them is like this dark brooding, and the other one's just like, boop-a-doo, comic relief. And I'm like, this is so, also I believe they're in love with each other. But like, this is so
So one is Visser
Marco
3,
coded.
one is Chapman?
Oh, no, I thought Marco.
I was saying
I
Marco.
thought Marco would be Dimitri.
Dimitri?
Or Petrie?
Petrie?
What?
You think he's Petrie?
Yeah,
because
I
he's
think
a worrier? He's like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
I don't know. I don't know
I'm
if
just
that
going
fits
by
in.
pictures, though. And I see Spike, voiced by Frank Welker Jr.
Yep.
And I don't remember anything about Land Before Time. But this picture...
That's seriously heartbreaking.
This picture
Rachel
has
Serra.
big...
Rachel Serra for sure.
Big Marco energy.
Spike doesn't talk.
Oh, okay. That's not Marco at all, then. This is a flaw in my method, which is to only go by pictures. Because you don't know that from pictures. So
It's true. Oh, he could also be Chomper from 2, but then from 5, he's like grown up a little bit, and he's like, I'm gonna have all my friends over for dinner, and aren't I just the cutest darn thing? I'm so cute. I'm the center of every party. Like,
yeah, that would be.
What
good.
about Rachel as Daddy Tops? Again, just going by names and pictures.
Sure.
That's Sarah's dad. So we said Sarah, but you're going with Sarah's dad, Daddy Tops.
His name is Daddy Tops.
That is his name. You are not wrong.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
They didn't know any better.
Yeah. No, they did.
Or maybe they knew.
No,
all
they
too
did.
well.
Maybe they did.
They were on.
All right. Yeah, I think that actually is a good way to
And then
narrow down the scope of the...
Axe feels difficult to pin down.
You gotta give him a wicked tail, right?
He does have a wicked tail, so like maybe an ankylosaurus.
Yeah. Or you could give him something a bit more alien, like a mouse.
Yeah, like the first small mammal. Like,
The first small mammal.
they're all dinosaurs, and Axe morphs the first small mammal.
Yeah.
Which one was Marco?
I said Struthia mimus,
Petrie.
or Chris said Petrie. I don't think Marco is nervous enough externally. Like, Petrie is extremely nervous externally. He's like, oh no, oh my,
Look,
oh no.
it's not a perfect one-to-one, but...
Well,
You know,
and I don't think we can
we're gonna
stop
need to
until
do-
we get a perfect one-to-one, Chris. So that's the standard we hold ourselves to here. What about Rooter for Axe? Again, just based on pictures, but
Rooter?
I feel like I'm going to like kill Eddie. I think like Eddie is like designed to destroy me right now.
that's why I'm not going back to our hometown for Thanksgiving. So because I fear for my life.
Well, if it were to be a forever fight, I would probably act on it when we were, at a retirement home or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in 10. Okay, I didn't see 10.
Nobody saw 10. All right.
Moving on.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Dragon
Yeah,
Trainer.
sorry it took us so long to. Sorry it took us so long to get to it, but email.
Yeah, if you ever think I missed something, please feel free to correct me. I used to just be able to catch them as they were coming in, but
we've been getting more emails, which is amazing.
I wasn't talking to you, Eddie. I'm not talking to Eddie. I am done talking to Eddie on this podcast. But if any of our fans would like to nudge me, I will try and keep a better list. Jesus goodness Christ.
Let's talk about this next email.
Yeah, this one is simply written by a fan. They cannot let us know even their first name.
Wow.
Unless their first name is a fan.
Is A?
Hey, Anachamps, I was thinking about the Animorph strategy, or lack thereof, har, har, har. I was thinking that they should try to expose the Yeerks and wondering how they might do it. Maybe get a camcorder, capture a controller, and make a movie of the thing leaving their head? Would be tough to share in the 90s. Maybe send copies to a bunch of papers and Maybe popcorn Miranda.
Maybe send copies to a bunch of papers of record or TV stations? I was thinking these thoughts and thought the thoughts might make you think too, so I wrote in. Bullet 1. Would you try the same approach? Something else? Bullet 2. If you did the exposure strat, how would you do it? Bullet Eddie.
How would you keep from getting caught? It reminds me of Death Note a little, where any context in the video or its distribution is a clue as to how you could be found out. Mm-hmm. Bullet 4. How would these strats change if this whole story took place in 2025? You live stream it. Being able to share things on social media, having a conspiratorial-minded population, being able to deep fake, etc. On a separate note, aren't these kids absolutely nuts forever morphing into tiny bugs? I never would have even... Popcorn Chris?
Tried something that small. What if they get swatted? What if your brain gets too tiny and you lose the capacity for complex thought and never morph back? A fly lives for less than 5 seconds, sometimes a month. It's a month. It says a month. So there's a solid chance that if you morph into a fly for 2 hours, that you're going to die of...
We lost it.
That you're going to die of old age. Thanks for the show. A fan. Thank you, a fan.
I'm gonna start at the end there, where I never really thought of that, of the risk of dying in your animal morph due to accidentally morphing an elderly animal.
Yeah,
it is constructed from DNA, but I've had this a million times where I'm like, if it's constructed from DNA, they should always be babies, but they're clearly not. So you clearly take a snapshot.
This is a very dark topic. I'm gonna try and not go down the depressing.
Yeah, but it is I never considered. Yeah.
It would be wild to acquire a morph and be like, actually, there's only a good hour on this one. The legs start to go. And
some morphs have different time limits, if you know what I'm saying.
I think that the fact that they're so confidently morphing into bugs speaks to them being kids/teenagers because I think if they were adults, maybe they wouldn't. But I don't think kids are thinking, oh, I'm going to morph into this ant and then someone might be inside and step on me. I think when they morphed into ants in
what are you talking about? I feel like they talked about the dangers of being stepped on right away.
But they
do talk
anyway.
about it, but they still do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's lots of dangers. I drive a car every day.
I know what you mean.
But you're 34, so...
Please don't say my age on that.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe they're like a devil may care about...
Remember that my age is your age.
That's true.
Yeah, but you're like 34 and 3/4, and I'm 34 and 1/4. So,
oh, what you mean? I know how to change the light bulbs in my car with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not talking to Eddie. Yeah.
Looping back, I do think I feel like they had a perfect opportunity to, in terms of exposing a controller. What if they just convinced Jake's parents that Tom and Jake were going to go to a cabin? Tom, Jake, and Marco were going to go to a cabin, and they bullied him into it, and they just forced him to do it. And then
weren't those the tunnels from The Great Escape?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But the camcorder is the hard thing to get in the 90s. This was right on that edge where I don't know that they would have had a camcorder, enough tape, enough, you know what I mean? And then, distribution would also make it.
It would have been hands copying the VHSs. It would have been like a counterculture thing. And it would have been like,
and even if you sent it into papers, they'd have no reason to believe you. So it would just become some like urban legend, I think, if they tried to do that.
Now, what I think would go a lot better is if you could appeal to like Visser 3's theatrical side. And you said you were like a controller and that you wanted to do like a documentary on him.
Yeah, for sure. He would let you film.
Reality TV show. Yeah. Yes.
Well,
He's like, you get him on the real world.
See, what you do is...
I think
Yerk World.
Okay,
I don't know. But see, what you do is you say to him, because he's going to be like, we have far superior recording devices. Why would we use this human trash? And they go, no, sir. Once we take over, everybody's going to want to know the story of how you came to power.
Think of the merchandising.
Exactly. In order to get it into people's hands the fastest, we're going to have to use the stupid human VCRs. So we're going to have to film it.
Right. Unless you pull an Oprah and you give everybody like an Andalite or a Yerk VCR.
That's true. You could. And that would be, that might be a strong move.
I think we are actually getting the seeds planted all across the series so far for a Marco book where they try something like this on Letterman. I think that they're going to try to convince Visser 3.
Well,
Chris,
we kind of already
idea.
Toyed with this.
Yeah, but they're going to get him.
We got close with Jeremy Jason McCall, but they cut the power.
Right, that's true. That was just a practice, though. I think they were learning from that.
Toying with the concept.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I think, Visser 3 would be a great late night guest. I think he would be very memorable. And I think we also talked about this idea, I don't know, maybe something with a Q-tip. We talked about prodding the
tickling them out.
Yeah, to get the Yerk to crawl out the other one. It gets a little afraid. And then you snatch it like the Pooh Bear image of him half in the, the hole of that house.
Pooh Bear.
And you Pooh Bear, yes. Yeah.
Not Poop Air.
Not Poop Air.
Which is what I heard.
No. And then you just pluck the Yerk out right there on live TV. So...
but there's also, a good point in here about, how do you keep it from getting back to you? Because if you expose them all at once, who cares if they know who you are? Everybody's on your side now. But if you can't expose them all at once, anything that ties back to you. I mean, it's, with the Death Note reference, he had to be very careful that he didn't kill people too associated with him, or he came up with reasons, ways to kill them that didn't look like it could be tied back to him in any way.
It's true. You sort of look like someone just pulling a slug out of someone's ear. It's not necessarily leaving a
It's like a sleight of hand trick.
I'm willing to take that bullet, though. I think I'll do that. We'll give it a go and see what happens. So.
All right. We'll give it a shot. Yeah. Sorry, this cough, man.
2025, it would be easier and harder, right? You'd be able to get more eyes on it faster than ever. But I mean, do Yerks even follow proper, physics that we know of? Like, if the Yerk physics are slightly off, everybody's just going to be like, "That's AI." You can tell that's AI. Yeah. The physics aren't right. Physics aren't right.
Or they're going to be like, exactly. I think it's actually just kind of hard to convince people of things that are hard to believe. It sounds as simple as that.
Could you hide
I don't know.
A camera? Okay, 2025, they have the same base from book 1 with that gaping hole in top that we've never heard about again, but I think it's still there.
Oh, right.
You fly a drone in just through the hole, you film everything. Or... You would
have to live stream.
What's that show called? Secret Boss, Undercover Boss?
Yeah, Undercover Boss.
Visser 3 would totally go on that for one, and he would want to spy on his people. But you just hide a camera somewhere in the Yerk base, and theoretically you could expose them that way.
But everybody's just going to think it's the next network sitcom.
Crisis
It's going to be The Office.
It's true. I mean, back to your real world idea, I'm kind of just imagining, Visser 3 being on the real world, but as an Andalite.
Just cutting people's hands off.
And nobody second guessing it. And then someone accuses him of being an alien at one point and it's a big controversy.
Yeah.
But it's like the giant chicken, I tell you. Giant chicken boo. Yeah.
Okay. What about, now this is strange.
He wears a disguise to look like human guys, but he's not a man, he's a chicken boo.
This is straying from the premise of the email a little bit, but how do we think that Big Brother, but it's just the Yerk pool, would go? If we could maybe somehow get subtitles for what they're talking about, and it's just a competitive reality show set in the Yerk pool.
Oh, see, And here I was
like
thinking...
just a static shot of the pool.
Of the Yerk pool, but you get the confessionals.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking you give hosts to like however many people, and then they're not fighting for $1 million. They're just fighting to not have to go back into the Yerk pool.
Yeah.
They're fighting to keep their host.
Yeah.
So they have to be entertaining. They're like, please, I don't want to the pool. I'm too cool for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into me in the pool, and it's gonna be awkward.
Yeah.
Don't vote me out.
I think, okay, I'm revising my idea a little bit. The confessionals or whatever, they infest a human just to give their confessional. Then they go back to the Yerk pool, but you still keep the static shot of the Yerk pool.
Static
and
shot.
you just get updates when they infest someone. They're like, when you saw
Can
me.
you believe the way she looked at me there?
And every once in a while, like they accidentally put a human in that they forgot to put a Yerk in, and the human's just like, "Oh my God, help me, please!"
And the most exciting
trying to
episode
escape.
is that one where Rachel, as a bat, falls into the pool suddenly.
Oh my
after
God.
a whole season where nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Suddenly there's
They
like-
can't see her either. They're blind. They're just like, what is this? What for her? Like,
They're
they're
little
palping,
palps.
yeah, but they're not
palping,
seeing
Yeah.
with eyes.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. They're always complaining
Anyway,
about not
did
seeing.
that answer
Right?
your question, the fan?
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's like, was that relevant? Did that do anything?
Was that relevant? Did that do anything?
I-
Did you feel something? Because we felt something.
I think that we may have won a podcasting prize because I don't know if you noticed, we are no longer Anna Cool Kids. We're Anna Champs. Did any of us go?
Dude, that's
Oh,
crazy.
that's true.
I didn't realize a fan held that power.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, maybe they're reporting on
crazy.
Champions.
an award ceremony that none of us went to. Maybe we just weren't there to.
It's a very fatherly thing. Like, hey there, Anna Champs.
Yeah.
And a champ.
You're
Like,
winning there, Anna Champs. All right. Well, thank you, A fan. Thank you
Yes,
so much
thank
for being a
you.
listener, and continue to write in. And apologies for the lag. And yeah, all right. Let's go to our next email. It's from Billy.
Billy.
It's simply
Hi,
from
Billy.
Billy. All right. This one is from, I guess, back when we were about to go into the David trilogy.
yeah.
Miranda, you want to start us off?
Sure, the subject is 10 out of 10 Survivor Pod.
Whoa.
Hello,
right.
Anna Cool Kids. Billy here. Hope you're doing well. Popcorn Chris.
I've been listening. Wait, hold on.
Yep,
It says
we
Popcorn
have to
Chris.
listen to the
We
email.
have to
It
listen.
says
Okay,
Popcorn
cool.
Chris.
But how would the audience know? Okay. All right, well, it says Popcorn Chris. So here we
Text
go.
literal Popcorn Chris.
Thank you. All right, I've been listening to the pod since you all were halfway through. Popcorn Miranda.
Book 2, and I don't think I've missed an episode since. I thought after Miranda, that's me, shouted me out when I, Yearcater, oh yeah, I know you, Yearcater, was on an Imburb stream. I should finally get around to emailing in. The pod never fails to bring Popcorn Eddie. Oh, I'm sorry, the pod never fails to bright Popcorn Eddie.
In my day with your funny bits and insightful commentary. Really excited to hear you guys cover Popcorn Eddie, the rest of Book 19, the David trilogy, and the rest of the series. P.S. What the heck does popcorn actually mean? I think that we're like, we all learned this in 4th grade. I think.
No, I think it was younger.
It was younger. And it was
But
like,
maybe you're right.
it
Maybe
might
it
have
was
just
fifth grade.
been,
Kind of
we all did
popping
go to the
from
same
one
public school.
to the other. You're
Yeah,
popping.
one kernel pops.
You're popping
and like,
around the
and
classroom
so
or the Zoom call.
you would,
You guys are explaining it in such a confusing way.
When
we would
we
have to
would-
do group reading
Yes.
in class, and they would all
Chris, you're
give us their own
complicating
copy of
it.
the
No,
book.
I'm just kidding. Please continue.
I don't know who said that. I'm not talking to that person. But you'd all have your own book in class, and you'd be reading along to make sure you were paying attention. They would let you popcorn someone, and if the person didn't know where you were on the page, if they couldn't just pick up reading exactly where you were, it would out them as not paying attention. And I don't know. It's like a 90s thing.
Your way of
yeah, it
shaming
was just
children.
a thing that when we
Yes,
had to
getting
read
children to self-narc. Take it
when we
away,
had to read
Miranda.
long passages, they didn't want to make kids read the whole thing, but they left it up to us once we got old enough. Because, like, I think at first they would be like, read this paragraph or read from here to here, and then they'd pick someone else. But eventually it got to the point that you would pick someone else, and you would decide when you picked someone else just to catch them, flat-footed.
Yeah, and if you were a real little monster like me, while you were reading, you'd be keeping an eye out for whoever wasn't paying attention, and then you went popcorn that. Because you want to make
Yeah.
it further in the game, because that's how you win the prize, so...
Because
That's how
you're a
you.
little
That's how
narc.
you show the teacher they should vote for you at final tribal.
Yes. And you make sure Chris isn't on the jury so they don't accuse you of being a baby narc.
Yeah. Maybe it was
Baby
4th grade.
narc.
Baby narc, baby narc. When did they have us read the Phantom Toll Booth? Do you remember that? Is that ringing a bell?
I read it in 4th grade, but I was
maybe it was 4th grade.
Third grade.
I don't like when Eddie's right.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I was in the same 3rd grade class as you, bitch.
See, I wasn't. That's the thing. It's like, I know it was 4th grade for me, but I wasn't in the same class as you, so I don't know.
I'm not we read that in the 3rd grade? Phantom Toll Booth?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't trust you. You thought you were the first sleepover at my house. You have no idea what's going
Brandon,
on.
what happened
with
your cater on your stream?
Your cater just popped in to say they love the podcast. They pop in sometimes, say hi, check out the stream. So thank you for coming over to the stream sometimes, dropping in. It's always good to see you. And that was a little.
Nice.
I've seen him a couple times. It's always good to see an Animorphs fan and an Anidorks fan.
Yeah,
absolutely. We should do Miranda. You and I should do an Anidork stream together. Since,
we should. We were doing those peak streams for a little while. Have you seen RV there yet?
Oh, I've heard about this.
I have thought about. Well, I'm sorry. Who just said that, Miranda?
Please, Chris, please.
So
I want to come back into the fold.
I want to move on to our next email.
All right.
Thank you so much, Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
Did we answer the question?
Really, your cater.
I think
good
so.
name.
I scanned over it. Yeah.
All right, good. Then let's do this next one. I'll start this one off. This one is subject line and a cool tattoo. Hi, y'all. Big fan of the pod. I don't use a lot of social media, but I have a really awesome thing that I'm desperate to share with other Animorphs fans. Attached are pictures of my finished tattoo leg sleeve of our favorite traumatized children in their battle morphs, plus the Escafil device. I wanted a more somber look than a lot of the battle morph images I've seen before, with an ethereal spacey vibe. Let me know what you think and feel free to share. Oh man, these tattoos are wild.
It's really cool. It's
awesome.
It's a full leg sleeve. We've got Cassie and Wolf Morph, Jake and Tiger Morph up at the top, Tobias as a hawk, Rachel and Bear Morph, Marco Gorilla. I will say, you said somber tone. Axe looks a little sad.
Yeah, it's true. Axe is looking a little sad.
A little sad, but not like... Yeah, not like sad Axe. Like sad but determined. You know what I mean?
That is incredible. That is an amazing.
And then the Escafil device looks really cool, and it's got a cool ass background. And we might have to share that.
I love that. Yeah, it sounds like you want us to tell the world. So maybe if we can be coordinated about anything, we could put these in the Discord because they're really incredible.
Yeah,
they're really.
I have a question.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking at Axe, does that tail look like it could do some damage?
It sure does.
Yeah, I think so. I think
well, it's a Fangor's tail that could do some damage, famously.
Any Andalite tail could do some damage if you ask me. But
you're right.
And Jake's tail also looks like it could do some damage. What is the line with Jake's tail?
Jake's tiger tail?
Yeah, I just think all tails.
It's
all tails.
It's squirted out of me.
Squirted.
Oh, right. It's squirted out of me.
Tails haven't squirted in a while.
That's true. And I for one, never want you to say that again.
Tails haven't squirted in a while. I'm always sitting around waiting for the tails to start squirting. So,
but
thank you, Perry.
This is very cool.
Is
yeah,
awesome.
Thank you, Perry.
Yeah, we will pass those along. And also, we have a Patreon Discord, which is full of the sweetest people. If you aren't already in there, I don't think you are.
Oh,
but,
I didn't notice the Escafil device.
Yeah.
Now I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
but
cool,
it is
right?
the greatest way to skip social media and just hang out with Anna Cool Kids.
It's true.
Like us and all the other people in there. The Anidork. Shit. Well, we're Anna Champs now.
Anna
Champs now. So everybody's Anna Cool Kids.
Prize winning.
You know what?
Prize winning Anna Champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, prize winning. All right. Shall we
Emmy
move on?
nominated?
Emmy nominated. I forget what Webby Awards?
Webby? Oh, Webbies, yeah. Somehow we were nominated for the VTuber Awards?
Yeah, I think so.
We weren't.
Whoa, this email's long, you guys.
It's
All right,
true.
here we go. Should we address it as we're going? Do one of those?
Yeah, I think so.
We can take we can take some breaks.
Sounds good. All right, I'll start us off. This is great. This is excellent. This is from, let me get the signature here. This is from Sarah. And Sarah has given us awesome facts about raccoons and other things and just sent us awesome emails in the past. So thank you. Subject line, Animorphs, The Departure Rambling. Hello, Anna Cool Kids. It's been really interesting to listen to this take on book 19. I think our interpretations of the book are usually pretty similar, but it seems that for this one, we've come from kind of opposite angles, and that's been cool to watch unfold. So I also really enjoyed the episode with CJ, and we would totally be down if you wanted more guest hosts, especially after the David trilogy or one of the upcoming MegaMorphs. All of your observations about Aftran making false equivalencies in their arguments are incredibly valid. You're absolutely right that Cassie is being asked to give up infinitely more in the bargain because her role as a guerrilla fighter makes her much more valuable to her cause than Aftran is the Yeerk cause, where they're a foot soldier at best. I also want to make it very clear in the following analysis, slavery in all circumstances is unambiguously evil. So please take my argument in good faith. All right, here we go. Popcorn Miranda.
For my part, I viewed Aftran as a much more sympathetic character than you three did, although I think by your discussion with CJ, you all sounded like you had softened on them somewhat. I think we did. We came around. I viewed Aftran first and foremost as a radicalized person who is going through the first steps of unlearning years of propaganda in a society that won't hesitate to kill them if they are caught resisting. Good point. In that sense, I think they are quite brave. To me, it makes total sense that a parasite would feel invading a body, even if not necessary to survive, is a natural part of life they are entitled to, and I see them willing to give that up as less of a rich kid giving up a comfort and more a disadvantaged person giving up an aid that drastically improves quality of life. Again, the means that aid is acquired by is morally reprehensible, but I think the radical empathy in this book is that the authors understand this and also understand how big a deal it would be from Aftran's perspective to lose a host body, even if it is an obvious moral necessity. Engaging in any dialogue with someone labeled part of your enemy group is also an especially difficult thing to do when you've lost someone you've loved, and Cassie had killed Aftran's brother. It's brought up only a few times in the book, but we know from Book 8 that Yeerks can form emotional connections, and I suspect the pain Aftran is experiencing from losing their brother is new and fresh, and we don't know how much it is impacting them. Popcorn Eddie.
I also think it's cool of K.A. to not just write Aftran as one of the good Yeerks from the get-go, and instead takes a much more precarious route with someone who has some doubts about their actions, but has largely bought into their empire's propaganda. And then the book does something even more remarkable towards the end with Jake's speech. It envisions a society after the war. Yeah. Animorphs have hinted at this before, but I think this is the first time we see a character imagining what moral values will be important to maintain once the killing is done. There's so much nuance in this idea that not every situation can be judged the way Cassie judged this one. And yes, it was a major risk, but there is ultimately something valuable in having people who want to sometimes take those risks. I think this message becomes even more meaningful as the series continues and ethics get messier and messier. They're going to get messier? Oh, man.
What?
I thought we'd start to turn to the other side, but as a side note, I use they, them pronouns for Yeerks since I think that's how K.A. would write them today. But sometimes I flip-flop on the idea because I also think there's something cool to the fact that any gender they do have is one that they chose for themselves. Yeerk society does not seem to have any concept of sex or gender in isolation, especially given what we know now about the reproductive cycles from this book. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I think it probably would be a they-them situation. They as the singular has become, I mean, it's been around forever, but being more accepted literarily now, I think that would be something that she might do. Although I agree with this idea. I almost wonder if Yeerks who take a host are more likely to have a concept of gender than Yeerks who don't. Like, in isolation, Yeerks have no concept of gender, but when they go out and live in the world in a host, they can, like, experience the concept of gender as, like, a totally new thing and maybe pick one for themselves, although it could be tricky with whether or not it aligns with their host's expressed gender, but, like...
It's like gender
I do think
play.
that is that. Yeah, that must be like a very interesting thing to go out. I mean, we only know humans as.
Well, I would, not to throw a wrench in what you're saying, but like, it is also like they're already doing so much, like bizarre espionage play kind of like it's like, that foot soldier was like a grown ass person.
True.
Like in a tiny child. Who was the child of a rich billionaire. It's like some level of absurdity is already...
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of play already going on, for sure. And I think that's really... I don't know that the books... It feels like I want to say that it's brave of the books to do, but also I don't know that people would have interpreted it as a gender conversation when it happened, even though it sort of very clearly is.
It definitely is. And I feel like there were cool moments with the wolf morphs where they talked about the gender of the wolves they were morphing, like the Animorphs themselves. That's not the Yerks, I guess,
with
but
the gender, their gender versus the sex of the wolf that they were morphing, and like how they felt about that.
Not
and
to even start about the wolf's gender, which is a different topic altogether.
Totally separate.
And something they didn't know about until they
Alpha or
morphed
Omega.
into the wolf. So
it's like, oh, okay.
I wonder if something.
Who is she?
Something I think that probably wouldn't happen is that the Yerks who do not have gender as Yerks, I think they probably wouldn't. What happens in the books is the moment that they inhabit, it seems like there's something kind of slippery that happens where the moment they take a host, suddenly the Yerk also possesses the same gender. And I feel like maybe they would have those be a little bit more, because it actually got confusing with Aftran and what was the little girl's name?
Yes, it did.
Karen.
Suddenly it seemed like the Yerk's gender automatically corresponded, and it seemed like that might actually not be the case at one point. So, but they just kind of take on the gender, which makes sense for like ease for the reader, especially because it's primarily for kids. But they just kind of like take on the gender of the host.
Yeah, and I mean, they are pretending to be that person, so they're presenting themselves as that gender.
Yeah.
So like there's that.
There's that Kurt Vonnegut quote that you be careful who you pretend to be because you are whoever you pretend to be. And I never agreed with that quote. No, I kind of like that quote, but it doesn't really apply here.
And I mean, it does seem to apply in the books.
It applies with the ethical thing, which is I think how Kurt Vonnegut was using it initially. But it's funny to think like, be careful if you pretend to be a little girl, you are a little girl. It's like no, that person was a soldier in an intergalactic war.
Yeah.
Can't trick me.
It does also, it's funny because I also think with this, they would also play with, like it seems like a lot of the fans imagine that if Axe was written today, he would probably be a non-binary character because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because Axe... Andalites do not have a sense of gender, I think. Is that right?
They do.
Oh.
They definitely do. They definitely do because...
But Axe said that
they definitely do.
Aldrea wanted to be a warrior, and she was like, they thought I should stick to the sciences.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
No, it actually couldn't be further from what you just said.
No, but I'm saying that's what I think was asserted when we first met the Andalites. I think Axe said something.
They didn't talk about it much. No, they But
didn't. Then he kept talking about Andalite.
He did mention... no, he didn't actually mention an Andalite girl, did he? Did I make that up?
No, he
got distracted in class.
Your joke was Andalite. Was
bra strap. Yeah.
It's like,
But I think there was something when Axe was forming the combined his human morph, which combined everyone else's human forms. I think he said something about being confused by human concepts of gender. But what we have seen from that point forward is that Andalite gender seems to correspond pretty exactly with human ideas of gender.
I think he said in the end, I think he did eventually say, like, I'm going to choose male because it corresponds with, like, so it's like I'm going to choose masculine presentation because it corresponds with the fact that I am an Andalite male. Whether or not our genders align, I'm going to go with the sex, like, you know what I mean?
Let's get some momentum back into this.
Let's continue this. We took a brief pause there to think on that, but let's get back into the email.
All right. You three mentioned being confused by Cassie's response to Aftran's comparisons of humanity to livestock, assuming, understandably, that she herself is an ethical vegetarian. But that is actually a detail that comes from fandom. Strangely, Cassie has never explicitly stated in the text to be a vegetarian.
Really?
And I actually think this book provides some strong circumstantial evidence, if not proof, that she probably isn't one.
It says, albeit not proof.
What did I say? If not.
It just says, it could mean that.
No, it's different. It's different. Circumstantial evidence, albeit not proof, that she probably isn't one. There is some circumstantial evidence in the other direction, too. For instance, I'm pretty sure she orders a veggie pizza at some point. I feel like that was when she was hanging out with Rachel. And
it might have been.
With Jeremy Jason McCall, 12 or something. So, for instance, orders a pizza at some point, and she has a reaction to events in a later book that would indicate a vegetarian sympathetic stance. But I'm generally on the side that assumes she eats meat, but not terribly often. For a book series so interested in animals and ethics, I actually think think this is one place they engaged less than one would expect Popcorn Miranda.
Which I find disappointing, even though I'm not personally a vegetarian or vegan. My understanding is that in the West, vegetarianism was still relatively fringe in the 1990s, and even animal activist groups were broadly more focused against causes like cruel animal testing practices or fur production, even though those both harm far fewer individuals. I don't know what was hard about that to say. A bit of a wild family story from a few decades earlier. My mom's father was a rare, ethically motivated vegetarian from his childhood in the 1930s, and his wife, my mom's mother, was so worried that he would turn their children into vegetarians that she made him lie and tell them he didn't eat meat for health reasons. My mom and her siblings didn't find out the truth until after their father died in the late 1970s. For reference, this was a New York City-based, relatively liberal family. Popcorn Eddie.
Lastly, I wanted to note that I agree with your assessment that the events of this book could only play out this way with Cassie. I think Marco or Rachel would have struggled and probably tried to starve the Yeerk to save Karen if they could, but ultimately they maybe would have, if not killed her directly, let the leopard get her and felt incredibly guilty. I'm even more certain Axe would have killed Karen if he thought necessary, although I'm less sure what Jake or Tobias would do. How do you envision this scenario playing out with them? This is such a special book, and I'm glad that you all enjoyed it. Best, Sarah.
I think we definitely talked about how we felt about Marco or Rachel being in this situation, but I didn't really dive into what I thought would happen if Marco or Tobias was in this situation. Not Marco, Jake or Tobias was in this situation. And I don't know. Jake is one of those, like, I view him so much as a leader that I struggle to think what he would do in a vacuum if he didn't have people to turn to and if he didn't feel like he was making a decision for a group, if he didn't feel like he had to make the leader's decision, what would he do alone in the woods?
He's a little vanilla without the responsibility. I mean, like, it's really true. Like, he has become a vessel for the decision-making of the group. He himself, we know he likes basketball. So maybe he would have pitched playing basketball with Karen and Wheaties. Well, he wants to be on the box. No, I'm just kidding.
He likes his mom's lasagna, or I don't remember.
I think that Jake isn't. I think it's true that Jake often is a vessel for the group. I also think he's struggling with being a vessel for the group. I think that's something that's... I actually think it would be a real...
What makes you say that?
I think it would be a really interesting bit of character crisis, just as it probably would be for... I hadn't thought of Marco or Rachel feeling guilty after making the decision, and I think that could also
I knew
be...
they would.
Yeah, but I guess I hadn't imagined it that far and how that would make for an interesting scenario. I think Jake actually dealing with this scenario and having to think through, like, does he bring the group in? Is he going to feel awful if he brings the group in and they do something that actually goes against, like, this personal moral code that he has?
Well, even can he bring the group in? Because one of the key factors of Book 19 is that she's completely isolated. So if he actually didn't have access to anybody in the group, like... We haven't seen Jake in that position almost ever since the end of Book 11.
Yeah. Also, if he didn't want to bring the group in because he didn't want to implicate them, if he wasn't going to get Yeerked, if he didn't want anyone else to be exposed, that could be really interesting. So, yeah. I kind of think now that Jake should have experienced Book 19. We'll get him his own. It would have been interesting. 19.
He'll have his own, Tobias, I think, might have killed her.
Yeah.
If he had to. He'd have tried to do the starving thing, but I think he also would have known that he, in his particular circumstances, was not going to be able to be very in control of this situation.
Yeah.
He was going to have a limited time to, like...
I could see that. I could also see plot reasons to have them not kill her for any... You know what I mean?
They could come up with a way that they don't have to kill her in any of them.
Yeah, like, I think, like... Somebody could have acted rationally, but, like, I kind of imagine, like, if it's a Tobias book, then, like, someone who could have helped him interface better would have, like it would have been Tobias Rachel book, and Rachel would have been like
but I also think
kill her.
They would have smooched during the starving. Right. They would have sat outside and
I do think there could have been some really interesting moments between Tobias and Aftran about, like, not feeling they are entirely the body they inhabit. But, and like, I would have loved to see those conversations, but in the end, with what was going on, like, I do definitely think the most impactful person to have it be was Cassie. I think it was the right choice.
I also think, on top of those conversations, I think we would have had some interesting things about being a predator versus prey. Like, I think Tobias and Aftran would have had a lot to say there. Do we still have the Ellimist on? Do we still have the phone number for the Ellimist? Because I think we could ask if maybe we could just play it out.
Is the Ellimist in the room?
Ellimist, are you in the room with us now?
Yes, I'm in the room.
Hi.
Hi, hello. I love the podcast. I've never listened to it with human ears.
Thank you.
I merely crack it open across space-time and ingest it via one of my many glands.
We actually have a special Ellimist tier on Patreon, so if you really love the podcast, that would be a great way of expressing. Other Ellimists have
Money
given. So.
is no object to me.
You're actually the only Ellimist, I think, Miranda, is that right? That hasn't donated yet. So
yeah, actually, I don't want to give away spoilers about everything we know about how the Ellimist government works, but it's actually
it's quite straightforward. It's just me.
So I'm wondering, Ellimist, we recently read book 19 where we saw Cassie hanging out with this yerk-infested little girl, and we're wondering.
Please cut to the chase.
Yes. We're wondering if we could actually recreate that with each of the Animorphs in the different timelines, so we can see how they'd react to this circumstance.
Each timeline is completely bespoke and requires an infinity of universes to create.
Okay,
say that you can simply swap one child for the other without starting the universe over is a fool's errand,
Ellimist,
mare's nest.
Are you saying you didn't pay for the ChatGPT Plus subscription?
I had to cancel it because I'm bad with money.
Yeah, and also you go through.
Well, that's good. I mean, we don't want you to be doing generative AI. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
also,
good.
you go through this whole preamble every time, and then you end up doing the thing we asked for anyway. So,
what I can tell you, you piece of shit, is that Jake would have simply eaten a bowl of Wheaties and offered it to the girl, and they would have become friends. For it is one of the oldest human traditions to break bread, even tiny rectangular bread, together, be it a Triscuit or some other vessel.
I love a Triscuit.
Marco would simply have gotten bored and wandered off, realizing he was missing Letterman.
Would he have gotten eaten by the leopard?
Yes. Rachel would have thought the girl her younger sister and taken care of her, and Axe would have removed her hands and then nursed her back to health.
Wow, I mean, that's what more can you ask for?
Am I missing any of our Tobias? Tobias would have delivered her as though she were a newborn babe and he were a stork to a random billionaire family of his choosing.
Okay. Interesting. I would like to see those books.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Crazy.
Okay, and
we got the Ellimist on the line for that.
Do not tell Tobias that we forgot him.
He is a part of me, and he already knows, and he has already forgotten.
Aw, that's nice.
Now, do you want to see my slideshow from the last time I was in the coral reef?
Yes, but we would love it. We would love for you to show up next time for our next mailbag episode.
But you said that last time, and technically I've stopped time, so there isn't a next time.
Miranda, how do we cut Ellimist from the call?
No other time. This is the perfect time.
You're back, Chris.
God. Yeah, I was weirdly quiet during that last.
You always get spooked when Ellimist shows up.
I just get kind of starstruck,
and you really want to see that slideshow.
I really do, and you guys are never into it. So thank you, everyone who wrote in. This was so much fun. Wow, what a nonchalant little segue I've done. We love all the engagement that you guys give us. The emails are awesome. The Discord is awesome. Sometimes I'll be a little sad and I'll be like, I want to talk about Animorphs. I'm like, oh, right. I'm a part of an Animorphs podcast.
It's amazing.
And there's a Discord where I could just go talk about Animorphs. So if you want to join the Discord, you can subscribe on our Patreon at the $3 tier and you'll gain access and you can come hang out with all the lovely people there.
And then maybe we'll finally be able to afford Chris's iron lung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just Animorphs that we talk about, but also Animorphs Game Boy games. We talk about
talking about Game Boy games by way of Animorphs.
We also talk about the PlayStation game. We talk about games.
Chess the musical.
Chess the musical. We talk about Chess the musical. Chess the musical's been a hot topic lately because of the revival.
We talk about hot topics sometimes. Spencer's kids.
Yeah.
And if you are a seasoned Animorphs fan, unlike us, you should know that spoiler text is a thing in Discord. I even tell you how to do it in the rules. And people are frequently discussing spoilers around us that they can't wait for us to get to.
You want to have,
and we are not allowed to click on that.
If you want to have entire conversations that the three of us cannot see, boy, do we have the place for you.
Yeah. Ironically, it's less likely that we'll see them than if you post them on your wall.
Patreon subscribers have more secrets from us than the kids and Animorphs now do from each other.
Also,
that's true.
Yes. Also, just a friendly reminder, if you haven't given us a 5-star review, we read those aloud every time we do one of these, so you can get us to say ridiculous things. And we're also, we're keeping an eye on all of you. If there's a Spotify comment or YouTube. YouTube is a little too active. I'm going to try and do a little better and engage more there maybe. But just be in touch. And tell a friend.
Also, we need the 5-star reviews because I think that might be the thing that's killing Chris. I think that might be the reason we need the Allen.
That's why I have that cough. Exactly. Yeah. And really, the best way for people to find out about such an obscure and esoteric podcast is to tell them about it firsthand. If you're at Thanksgiving, if you're at Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa dinner, those are the big three from the 90s that I remember right now. But just tell them about how the Animorphs is cool and about how cool they'll be reading the Animorphs.
And listening to the Anidorks while they get in touch with the books. It's like being part of a reading group without having to convince other people to read the
books.
books.
Play the long game. Don't be afraid to use years of friendship and meaningful conversation to get to mentioning the Anidorks. That's how I always do it.
It's a good move.
For all of our listeners in the Discord, all of our subscribers, I do keep saying that I'm going to bring the Discord into one of our mailbag episodes, and then we look in the mailbag, and there's 5 emails in there that we haven't talked about.
That's true.
And I have to rush to the window to wave the flashlight around to alert Chris and Miranda that we need
Oh my God, not the flashlight again.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not just one of those flashlights that has the batteries where you have to shake it, and it's really awkward when you make eye contact at the park?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about, but the point is, we love all of you.
We love
you. We'll talk to you all on the next one.
Yeah. Off to book 21.
Bye, everyone.
I almost left the Zoom call.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!